wax bitch here. Aren't you glad to see me? Listen, when my sissy bitch needs to be waxed, I come to the rescue. So I'm gonna do her legs. I'm gonna do it with black, Berodin Black. Start out with a tiny amount of the jasmine oil. There's something about waxing legs on camera that I almost always put too much oil on, and then the wax rolls right off. When you are waxing somebody's legs, we're going to do half legs with what I call the little old lady patch here. Not that she's old. Tiny little bit of oil, front and back, put it all over, have them start on their stomach. I'm using these sterilizable, non-disposable plastic spatulas. I have Berodin Wax Off. It's an orange oil, pure orange oil, in a mason jar. It looks disgusting in the jar. I'm not going to show you the whole jar, but there's orange oil in there. I will use this once, put it in there, and when I'm done, clean them, sterilize them, and you're good to go. So let us begin. Speed waxing does not mean moving quickly, but rather moving efficiently. So I'm going to put a whole ton of wax on my spatula and using good pressure, scrape it. This is where any of those hairs live. I can find them on myself all at the wrong times. There we go. And I'm going to do the same on this leg. You don't actually need to hurry up to get this wax off. It will not dry. It's one of the beautiful things about the Berodin brand. All of them give you this great time frame. I will say I do like waxing her legs. I'm not going to call her calves fat. They're shapely. They're certainly not fat. She has really good calves and makes it super easy to wax. It's a genetic thing, we all have calves. So, start at one side. We're going to do all the bottom first. One strip, don't keep changing strips. I keep her foot stabilized right there, so that she doesn't try and help me, and I just direct the strip. When it gets full, I'm going to flip it. I can let go of the foot a little bit. Sometimes I'm asked, why don't you hold the skin more? You don't really have to on the bottom of the legs. Very few people have such loose skin here that you have to hold super tight. Okay, next leg, push. You notice I'm not rubbing. That might be fun to do. It accomplishes nothing. So just use your whole hand, one nice, very firm rub, so that you can marry the strip and the hair and the wax. Fold it over. And just keep working. Okay, when you have little bits left over, like this, don't super irritating to the client and the skin. Treat it as if it's an entire strip and needs to be removed. So you're going alongside the body, and that way you won't irritate the client or their skin. Look, I left a whole nice strip so that when she turns over, you'll see my mistake. Okay, before I flip my client, I am going to now get a generous amount of oil. And I'm just going to kind of lay it down, and now I'll have her flip over. Don't ever bend over, lift the client to you. You really want to be able to wax all day long without being tired. It's important that you bring their body to you as opposed to you to them. So lift, wow, they are long. There's only 10 of them, but they're about that long. Okay, wipe the wax off on the client. There we go. Same thing, I put it on both legs. I don't lean them, I just do the front half or the back half and then the front half. Now I'm holding onto the foot, so once again, my client doesn't try and help me. Flip it over. I'm going to leave that there. I'm not going to try and get that off because I'm going to wax her knee. That's right at the bend. It'll irritate the skin. It's not going to hurt it by staying there. So what I mean by irritate the skin, if I try and get it off, I could do this, right? But it'll be better when it's bent. When you get more experienced with waxing, what starts to happen is you start to care less about each strip looking like it's perfect. My goal is that when they leave, they're not sticky, they're not hairy, they don't have wax on them. And each strip along the way doesn't matter as much as the end result. So when you're working, sometimes just because it makes life more interesting and fun, we'll be working and we'll start to remove and it'll just redeposit a whole bunch of wax. It's irritating, it doesn't matter, don't stress over it. Or you end up with a little patch of hair that didn't come off, so put the wax back on, get rid of the hair. Just keep working and don't let the little things along the way bother you. Waxing is already a drippy, sticky service. The more that we can not stress over the details, the better life is. So I always bend the knee, and I do the top half of the knee at the beginning. I don't know why, I just do. You can't wax over and around the corner and keep your hand alongside the body. So I'm going to do the top half, and I'm going to keep the skin tight from here. And then I'm going to go up to that. So you remember that one little section? This is when it'll be nicer on the skin than if I kept trying to get it off when her leg was straight. I'm gonna tell you, you got some fuzzy thighs there as well. It's like driving in the car, I can see it in the light. Okay, bend that one. Of course, I was standing next to her today, and the office and the light and the window all hit perfectly, and she saw one long hair on my chin. Mortifying. There are times when you think I am turning into my mother. One long hair. Grab it and pull. Disgusting. Okay, top of the knee, hold the skin. And now we're doing the sides and the front. All right, to finish, like I did on the back, take a generous amount of the jasmine oil And when I put it on the back, what happened was it started dissolving any last little stickiness that she might have had on her legs. And then I'm going to take one final strip. So this makes 7. Hold the skin nice and firm and go over and look for any little bits and then any hair you might have missed as well, so that they can leave, as I said earlier, not oily, not waxy, hopefully not hairy, if you have done your job as a wax technician. So there you go, set of half legs. If they have hairy feet and toes, you would do them at the same time. When we say half legs, we do mean above the knee and down, and that includes feet and toes. Don't ever ask the client if they want their feet and toes waxed. They do. That's it. Berodin Black. Go out and wax. Talk to you later.